It's 6:47 in the morning, and you're eating breakfast alone in a city that isn't your home. The coffee is bitter. The news on the small wall-mounted screen is in a language you learned in 8 months because someone told you to. Outside the window, the capital looks like any other capital. Traffic, gray sky, government buildings with flags that mean nothing to you. You've been here for 14 months. You have a business card that says financial consultant. You have a local phone number. You have a cover story so clean it has its own paper trail going back 4 years. None of it is real. You finish your coffee and check your encrypted device. One message, 4 words. He moved it again. You already knew. That's why you're here. That's the only reason anyone like you ever ends up in a place like this. Because you're the one person in a very long chain of very dangerous people who actually understands where the money goes. Not where it appears to go. Not the accounts the compliance teams flag. The real infrastructure. The nested shell architecture. The sovereign wealth proxies. The real estate holdings registered under names that don't exist anymore because the people who held them are gone. You've been mapping it for 3 years. And somewhere in the last 72 hours, approximately $4.2 billion shifted position. You felt it before the message arrived. You always feel it. That's the thing about money at this scale. It has weight. It has temperature. And when it moves, something in your nervous system registers the change before your eyes do. You shower. You dress in a gray suit that cost nothing remarkable. You leave the apartment at 7:15 and take a route that is never the same twice. The man whose money you're tracking has a name that appears on no international sanctions list. That's your first lesson in this work. The most dangerous people are never the ones on the list. The list is theater. The list is for the public and for the journalists and for the parliamentary committees that need to show they're doing something. The man you work around controls the fiscal architecture of an entire country. He has been in power for 19 years. He has 4 sons and a wife who attends charity events in Geneva. His official salary is $47,000 per year. The number you carry in your head, the real number, the full consolidated figure across every vehicle, every jurisdiction, every layered instrument, is $31 billion, give or take. You've never been more than a few hundred million off. You know this because you built the map, not for him. You built it for the people who want to take it from him. That distinction matters. It's the only thing you hold on to some mornings. Your handler's name this month is Renata. She's not her real name. She has clear eyes and a way of asking questions that makes you feel like the answer was always going to be the one she needed. You meet her in a covered market at 9 a.m. at a stall that sells ceramics. She doesn't look at you directly. You don't look at her either. You speak quietly in the ambient noise of the crowd. She tells you that the movement last night wasn't a panic. It was a test. He's testing for leaks. Shifting a portion of the reserves through an unexpected vehicle to see if anything surfaces in the wrong place. It's a sweep. He's done it twice before. Once in 2019 when he had 3 of his own Treasury officials arrested, and once in 2021 when 2 European bankers had very unfortunate accidents within a month of each other. You were watching both times from a distance. Now you're not at a distance anymore. You're inside the perimeter. Which means if this sweep catches anything, your name, your real name, your constructed name, any version of you, cannot be the thing it catches. Renata gives you 24 hours to go dark. You don't go dark. That's not what you do. Instead, you go to work. The office you use is a rented space in a mid-tier professional building, shared with a law firm and an import consultancy. Nobody asks questions. You sit at a clean desk and you open systems that, to any observer, would look like routine financial modeling software. Underneath the surface layer, there is architecture that took 2 years to build. a live mapping system that tracks the movement of assets through a network of over 300 entities across 22 jurisdictions. Shell companies, trusts, foundations, a hotel group in the Balkans, a shipping company registered in Malta, a private equity vehicle that exists only on paper inside a larger fund based in Luxembourg. You didn't create these structures. You reverse engineered them. You followed the money backward, transaction by transaction, filing by filing, until the whole picture assembled itself like a city seen from altitude. You know where every dollar lives. You know its address. And right now, you're watching $340 million move through a structure that doesn't officially connect to anything, but you recognize its signature. It's a vehicle he used once in 2017 and then retired. He brought it back. That's not a test. That's an exit route being cleared. You sit very still for a long moment. An exit route means he knows something is coming. It means someone has told him, not everything, but enough. Enough for him to start preparing a portion of the reserves for rapid extraction. If $340 million is moving through a dormant vehicle, the rest of the architecture is probably being reevaluated right now by people much closer to him than you. And if they're reevaluating the architecture, they're going to find inconsistencies. Small ones. The kind that only appear when someone has been watching very carefully for a very long time. The kind that point, eventually, to you. You close the system. You sit in the quiet office. The import consultancy next door has someone laughing at a desk. Through the window, the city moves like it always does. Unaware, indifferent, full of ordinary problems. You think about the first time you did this work. You were 29. You had a postgraduate degree in international finance and a naive belief that following the money was a technical problem, not a moral one. Someone at a government agency, a real one, not the kind in films, explained to you over 2 dinners and a very long walk that you had a specific kind of mind. The kind that could hold an entire financial architecture in 3 dimensions, while most people could only see a single transaction at a time. They said it like a compliment. Later, you understood it was a recruitment. You haven't thought of yourself as working for anyone in particular for a long time. You call Renata. Not on the clean phone. On a line that will be discarded in 4 hours. You tell her the movement isn't a test. You tell her it's a preparation. You tell her that if they want what you've mapped, they have a window, and that window is narrowing. There is a silence on the line that lasts long enough for you to understand that this information has changed something. A decision is being made somewhere above both of you, by people who will never meet you and will never confirm you exist. Renata tells you to stay in place, to continue your routine, to wait for contact. She doesn't say anything about keeping you safe. She never does. That was never part of the arrangement. You go back to the apartment at your normal time. You eat at a normal restaurant. You walk a route with no patterns. You think about the $31 billion and what it represents. Not abstractly, but concretely. Schools not built. Hospitals running without medicine. A generation of people living inside an economy that has been quietly hollowed out for 2 decades, while the man at the top moved the wealth offshore in instruments so complex that no treasury official in the country could even name them. You've thought about this before. You try not to think about it too much. Not because it doesn't matter, because in this work, the moment you start feeling the weight of what the money represents, you start making different kinds of mistakes. You need to stay technical. You need to stay cold. That night, you receive a second message, not from Renata, from a channel you haven't heard from in 11 months. A parallel operation you didn't know was running alongside yours. The message is brief. It tells you that someone inside the inner circle has already given up a name. Not your name, but a name close enough to yours in the network that the distance between that name and you is now a matter of days. You read the message twice. Then you delete it. You sit at the window of your apartment and look at the city. 14 months of work, 300 entities mapped, 31 billion located, structured, and documented in a format that no one else on Earth could have produced. The intelligence value of what you carry in your head and in your encrypted systems right now is, you've been told, without precedent. There are people in 3 governments who consider your work the most strategically significant financial intelligence operation in the last decade. None of them can acknowledge you exist. And somewhere in this city tonight, people who work for a man with $31 billion and 19 years of power are drawing a circle on a map. And the circle is getting smaller. You don't pack a bag. Packing a bag means you're running. And you're not running. Not yet. You check your systems one more time. The $340 million has settled into a structure in Liechtenstein. Clean. Quiet. Almost invisible. Almost. You found it in 11 minutes. You close the system. You set 2 alarms for different times and lie on the bed without taking off your shoes. The money doesn't move without you knowing. That's always been the truth of your position. The thing that makes you valuable, and the thing that makes you impossible to release. They can't let you leave because of what you know, and they can't stop needing you because the money keeps moving. You close your eyes. The city hums outside the window. $31 billion, sitting in the dark, waiting. And you're the only one who can see it.